Welcome back to Bunnex Investment Group. In this video, I am going to show you a very simple trading strategy that will require you to be in front of the charts at 9 GMT time as well as 3 GMT time. So stay tuned as I'll unfold each and every technique that you require for you to make money through this strategy. Alright, so basically trading is something that is stressful. And if you do not know when to be in front of the charts, you are definitely going to gamble. Gambling is the worst thing that you'd want to do in trading. So you need to know the exact times when the market is likely to move and the times when you are likely to get winning trades. In this particular strategy, you are going to require the Traders Dynamic Index, which I can provide you via the free Telegram channel that I'll leave in the description box below. Just say hi and I'll provide you the TDI if you do not have one. So after having the TDI, you need to have some EMAs that we use on this particular channel. These EMAs are basically to give you the market trend, and giving you the market trend is to basically increase the odds of getting winning entries. Without further ado, let's jump right on the charts so that I can show you how and what you are going to be looking for. So firstly, I am going to define all the indicators that are on my charts. I understand that a lot of traders do not want to have cluttered charts like these ones, but it's not always cluttered charts that doesn't work. Some other cluttered charts give a lot of opportunities to trade and winning opportunities. So for the purposes of those who do not follow this channel, these indicators are basically the 800 exponential moving average, the 200 EMA, the 50 EMA, the 13 EMA in red, and then lastly the 5 EMA. The bottom part, I have the Traders Dynamic Index, which is the one that we are going to use when making our entries. So basically, whenever we see the 50 EMA crossing the 200 EMA, we are going to be looking for buys. Whenever we get this crossover, anticipate or wait to see some buys. After that, the next thing is to observe what we call the Asian session. The Asian session is being marked by this blue box, and I can provide you this template for free. Just say hi using the Telegram channel that I've left in the description box below. After that, observing the Asian session, we now need to see the market pulling out of the Asian session, but going against what the 200 EMA is telling us. Like in this particular case, we can see that this was the Asian session. The market went outside the Asian session box to the 200 EMA. That is what we want. As I've said, whenever there is this crossover, we are going to be looking for buys only. So after that, the next thing is now for us to see the Traders Dynamic Index confirm our entry. How is it going to confirm our entry? I've said the two times that you are going to be looking for entries are going to be 9 AM GMT time. You can convert it to any time zone you are in. It's 9 AM GMT time or 3 PM GMT time. So when this happens at 9 AM GMT time, you'd find out that the Traders Dynamic Index will confirm as a Sharkfin. What is a Sharkfin? For the purposes of those who are new to this channel, the Sharkfin is basically an overshoot of the Traders Dynamic Index. You can see that at 9 o'clock there was the RSI line outside the bands, and then it went right back inside the bands. Whenever this RSI line and signal line, the one in red, crosses, we actually now can get an entry. So in this particular case, it happened in this particular shadow box. This gray box is a period that is of high accuracy. So when this scenario occurs inside the shadow box, we actually say it is of higher probability. So your entry was going to be a crossover of the signal line and the RSI line, and the market went our way. So we always say when something is good, you do not get it easily. Therefore, you need to have much more patience or incorporate several more pairs so that you get these setups with much more higher frequency. In this case, we can see there was a crossover of the 50-200 EMA. What are we now waiting for? This signifies that the trend is going to go to the downside, as I've earlier defined it. Whenever they cross to the downside, look for sells. Whenever they go to the cross to the upside, look for buys. In this case, we had this Asian session. After that Asian session, the next thing is to see a shadow box above or below, depending on the market context. This is a sell market context, therefore we want to have it above the Asian session. And whilst that is happening, we need to see a trader's dynamic index giving us the Sharkfin. A Sharkfin was issued. You can see a piercing of the RSI line outside the bands, and then a crossover that occurred here. So the crossover was going to be at this particular point, and the market gave us a clear move to the downside. This was very, very clean. Therefore, we now need to have much more examples so that we can easily see how to apply this particular strategy. You can see that there was this crossover on GBP, JPY, M15 time frame, and then the market went to the downside like that. We were only looking to get the shadow box above the Asian session, which occurred right at this particular point. You can see here the shadow box was within the range, and then here the shadow box was right above the Asian session range, and there was a trader's dynamic index, Sharkfin. And when this happens, it means that game over. We are now going to get our entry at crossover of this RSI line and the crossover line, crossover like this. This was going to correspond at somewhere at this particular point, and the market went our direction. So in short, what we are looking for is, one, we need to see a crossover of the 5200 EMA to the upside or to the downside. Upside crossover means that the market is going to move to the upside, and downside crossover means that the market is going to move to the downside. The next thing is to have the Asian session located, and after that Asian session located, we need to see the market go towards the 200 EMA and have the shadow box right above the Asian session. And after that, we need to wait for the Sharkfin that will occur at 9 a.m. GMT time, or 3 o'clock GMT time, that is for US session. And then after that happens, we now enter at crossover of the RSI line and the signal line. If that happens, it's a game over. I tell you, this strategy is basically 90 to 95% accurate, meaning that over a several number of trades, you see that you only lose 5% of all the times. On that note, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.